Excuse me. Ready to go? All
Go
right.
right
Well,
ahead, Dr.
hello.
Gadsden.
All right. Well, hello to everyone. Welcome to the Writers Wordshop. I'm Nathaniel Gadsden, and so glad to have this opportunity once again to be here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg, and to do the Writers Wordshop. We do it every Friday night from 7 until 9. I want to thank Brother Chris Thomas, the Pastor Chris Thomas, for making this possible and being the engineer as he does so well. And we hope that if you are even thinking of being a writer, that you will find this program helpful to you. We try to encourage persons to not only write but also to create platforms where other persons can, and also look for ways of being published and all that stuff. Because when you write something, you can be a real blessing to somebody else. Just think about all the good works that are coming up out of the books that we read, the movies that we see, whatever it might be. Usually there's a script somewhere, something's written down to make it happen. There's a game plan, so to speak. And so, writing is a very, very important part of our society. So that's why we do this. We had a wonderful program. We're going to have Nicole Wilkerson coming on, in about the next half an hour or so. And Nicole is an events planner. Nicole is Making It Happen. That's the name of her organization. And she's been doing tremendous work for the Writers Workshop over the past couple of years. And we're really glad to have her on board. And she will come on to tell us, give us some information on the upcoming Kwanzaa. December the 9th will be Kwanzaa 2023 here in Harrisburg. And, we always do a pre-Kwanzaa because Kwanzaa itself is celebrated from December the 26th through January 1st. And we always have this Kwanzaa around the second Saturday of December. It just kind of get people into the mood and get everybody ready. It's that holiday season kind of thing. And then we also have another program coming up on December the 17th at the State Museum. We're going to talk about that as well. And so, this is what the program is all about tonight. We are going to look at some videos, and we always have some fine poets that come on. Usually, I noticed lately, and the pattern has been to come on in the second hour because we're on from 7 until 9. So between 8 and 9, I usually get a couple people to come on, and if I don't have a special guest, which we sometimes have, they'll come on and read some of their works and all that. But we do have some things to talk about. We had a wonderful program that we did in collaboration with the Harrisburg Area Police Athletic League with Dr. Charles Stewart and Brother Jimmy Jones and others who are part of that organization. And they sponsored a poetry showcase, say poetry and spoken word showcase. We had some 14 to 15 young people who participated in it. It was a contest, and we decided to do it based on the best writings. We weren't sure how many young people can get down to the forum, but a number of them did come down. Some of them couldn't make it for all kinds of different reasons. So we went off for the writings themselves. And, a young lady, was able to win it. She's a 10th grade student at Dauphin County Technical School and Votech School. And she wrote a wonderful piece. The theme was the good that I see in my community. And I thought her piece just absolutely nailed it. We had a good representation. The Nativity School brought two young men that collaborated on a poem. They did a great job. We had CASA, the Capital Area School for the Arts. They brought some students in, and two of their students won second and third place prizes, and three women won the top prizes. After that, for the young men from the art program, they represent various schools, and they had three young men who participated as well. And those young men really wrote some really powerful pieces. And I had a young lady from SciTech who wrote a really powerful piece of talking about her life and her mother and the situation that they've been through and everything. You can see this pretty much the full program on Facebook on my page, Nathaniel Gadsden, and it's been shared on other pages as well, and some pictures also from the event. So if you really want to see what it was all about, check it out on Facebook, on Nathaniel Gadsden's page. Just scroll down till you come across the Harrisburg Police Athletic League's Poetry and Spoken Word Showcase. We had a lot of fun with it. There were some cash prizes given out. In fact, one young lady, the winner, she won $500. We had one person won $250, another person won $100. It was really, really nice. And so we wish everyone could have been, given a cash prize, but they were all winners. Everybody got a certificate. Everyone got some books and a goodie bag. And then we will be featuring those young people, those who want to be featured. Will be featured both at Kwanzaa here on this program, the Writers Workshop, and also, we're putting together an anthology, and all of their writings will be included in the anthology. And we're going to ask that they, write more stuff so we can have a really nice size anthology. So, that's what's going on. So it's not just about the money; it's about the accomplishment, and then also the involvement of many other, activities and things. Harrisburg Harrisburg Area Police Athletic League has a new home. I forget the exact address, but it will be talking with them sometime in the very near future and showcasing their place, showing what they've been able to acquire, and they're going to build that up in 2024 and make it a real nice facility for young people to have a place to go play baseball, other activities, and a place to have some meeting space. It's going to be nice. And so hats off to the people who donated the space to the Harrisburg Area Police Athletic League. And hats off to Dr. Charles Stewart and his wife for, putting the blood, sweat, and tears behind it, the muscle behind it, and they're transforming that facility into something that's going to be real nice, we hope, for the Harrisburg area. Anyhow, that's what's going on there. And Kwanzaa 2023 is coming up. It'll be held at the Camp Curtain Academy, which is located at 6 in Division Street. And also it will be in the gymnasium of the Camp Curtain Academy. And I want to thank Brother Chris. He jumped right on it. I think he's bringing up the flyer so we can kind of see that beautiful flyer. There it goes. And that flyer was put together by Sarita Henderson, who's an outstanding, artist, as you can see, flyer maker. And so there it is. It's Kwanzaa Celebration, December the 9th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or that 5 p.m. Let me look at that. I used to say 5 p.m. and that looks like that's a 5. Okay, I got to put these glasses on these days. But anyhow, the Camp Curtain School Gymnasium, featuring a fashion show by ABW Productions. Also, you can see the Dwinneman African Dance Community, and also we will have the the award winners of the Life Esteem Community Awards will be given out again. We have 8 outstanding people that will be honored, and of course, music provided by DJ Brian Dupree. All right. We're also going to highlight, the African culture. We're going to have vendors of all types. And we're bringing in a very special guest, Mafelda Thomas, who is the stilt walker, excellent stilt walker from Philadelphia. And she'll be coming in and dazzling the crowd once again. And we're hoping to have her on around 12 noon, just that. And I see I have a call coming in here from a person, Brenda Owens. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm going to just let them leave a message. Oh, I know who that is. Hold on. Let me see. 1 second, folks. Hello. Hey, man. How you? Could you check a line? Thank you, Brother Chris. I was talking and was muted there. Appreciate you, man. That's a good catch. That was Neil Owens, who is an outstanding author, as you know, and a frequent visitor here to the Writers Workshop. He's always he's a member of the Writers Workshop, and he's going to be joining us if he hasn't already. Brother Owens, are you there? Okay, he's coming on, and when he does, we want to make sure that we honor him by giving him some mic time here, because that brother's a great writer. So good to see him. But anyhow, that's a preview of what we did last year and what we hope to do again this year. That is our Kwanzaa celebration. It's going to take place again at the Camp Curtain Academy, which is a school of the Harrisburg School District, and it's a middle school, and it will be held there on this December the 9th. And stay tuned, because we're going to have the co-workers to come on, and she coordinates all of our vendors, and we want to encourage you to be a vendor there at our Kwanzaa Festival, because it's always one of the highlights of the Kwanzaa Festival. You can come and buy gifts, get some food, get some things that are very unique that you wouldn't see otherwise, in the city. And she'll tell you how to make that possible. Look at that. That's my brother there. That's, that's Pastor from Loop. And they're, holding up this clothing and stuff. That was one of the vendors there last year or a couple years ago. I'm not sure. And in fact, this was a couple years ago. This was out at the Harrisburg Mall. Yeah, and that's Duke Burnett and his wife. That's Melissa Burnett. And as you can see, Duke, there's, let me see. Oh, that's James Lyles. This is Brother James Lyles. And, and then the young folks there from Youth 10 Times Better. Excellent, excellent organization. Thank you for showing them. Ready, heart? Ready, does that say heart or here? Okay, I'm not sure. But anyhow, great, raising great kids. Oh, come on now. King Community Center. And of course, that's Dr. That's her sister there from the Scott White family. And they do a tremendous work. And the King Center is doing tremendous work. We're so glad they were on board. And there you go, Patty Kim. All right. We all know, of course, Representative Patty Kim, state representative. And I know she ran for another office. I don't even know what the outcome was, but there's Pat Stringer. Pat Stringer just contacted us to know about Kwanzaa and, setting up and that kind of stuff. We're going to make sure she's there. Absolutely. And who else? There we go. Oh, my sister. I can't call her name right now, but she's an excellent educator and good person. And it's good to see she had a table there for her jewelry and accessories. All right. And that's me and Pat, along with, of course, my brother, who is an outstanding fashion designer, not fashion model, but fashion designer. And he's been at many. That's my man Dupree right there. He's the DJ, and he's always does a great job. Hopefully he'll be our DJ again this year. And there's some sisters there with their, jewelry and everything. This was at the Harrisburg Mall a couple years back. And that was a nice facility to host the Kwanzaa Festival. They were really good hosts. And there's the Life Esteem. There's my wife Pat's table there with the Life Esteem, logo and all the good stuff there. And all right, a good brother there from the Nation of Islam, has the papers. All right, go ahead now. Good stuff. Everybody came out. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Man, I tell you, this takes me back. Yeah, great vendors. And I really appreciate the people coming out supporting the vendors as well. Look at the bean pies. I think I got about 2 or 3 of the bad boys that day. Yeah, that's right. I like bean pies for the nation. Oh, there's my sister. She's now, moved out of the area. She's married to a pastor and expecting her first child. We see her all over Facebook. Outstanding young lady, great singer. And just glad to see her. And she was there with her books and everything. My man, James Lyles. All right. Hey, good pictures. But thank you, Brother Chris, for taking us back. So again, Kwanzaa this year is going to take place on December the 9th, which is a Saturday, from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. That's a good 7 hours. And we have all kinds of things lined up for you. The award, ceremony that we're going to have for community leaders, the Stilt Walker, our African dance group, as well as the ABW fashion show and poets and just many other attractions. So, we'll keep building it all the way up to the day of it. By the way, don't forget, we also give out Toys for Tots at that time. And we're going to start signing up people for Toys for Tots. In fact, there's a link that will be present starting this weekend. And if you want to sign up for Toys for Tots, that's what you do. Go to that link, sign up, and we'll make sure you get all your information. And then thanks to Deborah Letterlow and also the Toys for Tots organization, the Marines who put that together. I thank them for, allowing us to be a part of it. And we're going to make sure that we take all those toys and make sure that our young people, get these toys and have themselves a very Merry Christmas, time. Not just about the toys, but about the spirit of giving and the spirit of community and the spirit of family. We do everything we can to bring together family, remembering what the meaning of Christmas is all about. And the meaning of Christmas is all about understanding that Christ gave his life for us, that, we would be forgiven of our sins. He literally died for us. And can you imagine? So we have to remember what the season is all about. And then we have to celebrate as if we understand what love is all about. We love family, we love community, we love self, and we love others. And that's what it was all about. And, first and foremost, we love God. And so that's what it's about. And hopefully, as you come to, the various programs we have and all the other programs that will take place throughout the community. My wife, in fact, and our daughter Terry, they're up there at the CAMA, the Capital Area Music Association, has a musical tonight that is in celebration of the Christmas and let's say holiday seasons. I think it's more of a Thanksgiving, but anyhow, they're doing a wonderful program tonight that I would love to have been a part of, but I love the Writers Workshop, so I wanted to make sure I was here. But anyhow, that's taking place. So things like that will be popping up all over the place. Don't forget too that the Sankofa African American Theater with Sharia Ben and staff, they are putting on the Black Nativity. And I don't have all the information in front of me here, but it's going to take place. I know what we're going on that Friday night, but also December the 2nd is the day we're going. So December the 1st, 2nd, and maybe the 3rd. They have 3 or 4 different showings of the play. And we're going to go on December the 2nd at 2. I think it's 3:30, 3 o'clock. The play is, so we're going to get over at about 2:30 ourselves. I'm looking forward to it. They did it last year, and I didn't go, but I heard that it was just absolutely outstanding. My son was able to go. Excuse me, and he said you don't want to miss that. So we're gonna take about 5 people. We're going over to see and support Sankofa African American Theater Company as they present the piece, I think, written by Langston Hughes, if I remember correctly, called Black Nativity. So we're looking forward to that. Okay. I'm going to ask Brother Chris if he doesn't mind to pull up the first video. He just showed us some outstanding pieces, and we'll revisit that a couple times, at least one more time tonight. Images from Kwanzaa in the past, and right now he's going to show us another piece here. In fact, that's another image of Kwanzaa right there. But hopefully
development where I train young people to be entrepreneurs, to be the best that they can be. Not only that, but to find a trade that matches their skill set. So I'm excited to be here among you people as you celebrate your business, as well as celebrate your culture and just celebrate being here. It's awesome. So I'm going to come back to this table here and delicious lips. I just purchased some delicious lips. I didn't have any lipstick today, so I came back here, and the first one I picked up, I love. So you guys got to come back to this table. So I want to find out what's going on back here. So there are 3 of you or 2. Who's the entrepreneurs here? Awesome. Can you tell me your name and why are you decided to get into business with lips?
Hi, you guys. My name is Shamira Dennis, and I am the CEO and founder of Delicious Lips, and my daughters are the co-owners of Delicious Lips.
Nice. Yeah, very good. So that was one. In fact, that's my daughter-in-law there. That's the Shamir, and she's created that organization. But she also now has D&D Journey, which she's really pushing, and that is an organization that works with families that have autistic children, and she's doing a lot of great activities. And she's doing Toys for Tots this year through her organization, which is a nonprofit, 501c3, and also she's offering all kinds of services and building her organization up to offer services for persons who have autistic children. And she knows what she's doing. She's doing a great job. So that was just one example. And that was Pat Robinson. Pat Robinson has created an organization, the MC, called Evolve. And she's doing great stuff. Neil, how you doing, man?
Great, how you doing, Nate?
Yeah. Good. Hey, glad you came on, brother. Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, what's going on?
Oh man, it's been hectic. It's just been hectic for the past couple of months, but
right,
back on track now.
Okay. And when you say hectic, brother, I understand. Life catches up with all of us at
Yeah,
some time or
man.
another.
Yeah, that it does. That it does.
Yeah. But everything's good now.
Yes, praise God. Yeah,
Praise
everything's good.
God. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, we're going to we're going to be joined at about 7:30 in a few minutes here from Nicole Wilkerson, and she's going to be telling us about 5 minutes or so. She's going to tell us about the upcoming Kwanzaa festival we have planned, and I was just talking about that, and Brother Chris brought up some really good images of Kwanzaa's past, and also we had a wonderful youth poetry showcase sponsored by the Harrisburg area Police Athletic League and the Writers Workshop. We kind of helped put it all together, and it turned out real nice, man. We didn't get as many youth out as we wanted to, but we had 14 or 50, I think it's 15 young people, and we were able to get out some cash prizes and a young lady who's African American, 10th grader, and kind of going through something with her family, but hanging in there. She wrote a dynamic piece, man, and so all of them wrote really good pieces. But she was able to win the whole thing, and so we're happy for her. And all the young people participated. They got enthusiastic about it, and now we're going to do it there, put their works in an anthology, and then challenge them to even write more. So that was a highlight. That was just last Thursday. We could go Thursday. And then we have, of course, Kwanzaa coming up here on December the 9th. And then another program, which I haven't talked about much, but I will on December the 17th at the State Museum of Pennsylvania. So we're on the move, got a lot of things happening. And then, of course, we're in the midst of Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. If don't say it now, I'll say it now. Because by the time we come on next Friday, it'll be having come and gone. But also, all the turkey birds will be have been gobbled up. No, and we have leftovers for days. You know
That's
how that goes. And then of course we have some other programs coming up. Yeah, man. But so tell us more about your books. I know you're getting closer and closer to releasing something here, aren't you?
yeah, because of the storyteller, and it's just it hasn't spiritually moved me to release it, man. Um,
Mhm.
and I've been working on, and it's like I'm being moved to complete the rise of the Fourth Reich and bring that out first.
Okay.
Um, because the storyteller is really the storyteller. I really like the storytelling. It's really covers a lot of different areas, a lot of different
Yeah.
genres, and has some very fun parts and some serious parts and some not so serious parts, some stories. Um, but for some reason, man, it's just not moving me to release it yet. And
All
I'm
right.
being moved to work on and complete the right, the Fourth
Okay.
Right, and get that one out. And maybe
Good.
because that one is so much connected with what's going on in the world today.
Mm. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of stuff that you talk about what's going on in the world today, man. Oof. But you're right. And I've heard you read bits and pieces from both projects, and so yeah, man, yeah, either one really. Though you're a great writer, and so thank you for your gift. But yeah, bring that first, that the one that you mentioned, bring that out. First might be a good move, just based on what we know about what people are kind of concentrating on, from Ukraine to Gaza to Israel to
Right.
all parts of the world that we haven't even heard from, that the wars are raging and stuff is going on, man. And that's the crazy part about it. We get the headlines all the time, but there's a lot of other news out there, brother. There's a vast world we got, and there's a lot of stuff that's happening that we don't even talk about, but there are wars nonetheless. Tragedies nonetheless. And so, hey, yeah, but keep on working on it, man. For those persons who never heard of either project, either book, give them a synopsis of the Third Reich.
Or the Fourth Reich.
Fourth Reich.
Yeah, the Fourth Reich addresses starting at the end of World War II. And it's a work of fiction, but again, within fiction there is a lot of truth there. And the CIA at the end of World War II, they recruited Nazis influential members of the Nazi Party who were in Spain plotting the Fourth Reich, and they recruited them to spy against the Russians in their fight against communism. Because when World War II ended, Russia was became a threat now because of communism, because they started covering most of Europe.
Yeah.
And so America was concerned about the communists and that whole bit. And so they recruited Nazis to spy for them, infiltrated into America and so on. So it's a very, very deep story, man. I mean, it's something like in the Storyteller, there's a story I wrote, Chris might have read it, called 430 Years. That really covers a lot of information going back from biblical times, addressing that on up into today. Because some of this stuff, man, you look and you kind of like, it's like drawing pieces together and saying, well, this happened, but what did it mean when it happened? You remember when Reagan was shot?
Yeah.
And Reagan was shot like 2 months after he became president. And when he was shot, they had a press conference and the vice president was not there. Alexander Haig, who was the Secretary of State, said, "I'm in charge."
Yeah.
He said that to the whole world, man.
Sure did.
This was a press conference.
Yeah.
Okay? He said, "I am in charge."
And was Reagan like was he in a coma at the time, or just
He wasn't in a coma. He was just wounded and he was in a hospital.
But he wasn't in a coma or anything. So yeah, all right.
He's in a coma. The vice president is the person who is in charge.
That's right.
And then after the vice president, he comes the Speaker of the House.
That's right.
Okay, the secretary. But he flat out told him, "I'm in charge." I mean, this was right there, man. I mean, it just so happened that he died. That Reagan didn't die. And you remember Haig. These pieces are connected, man, because Haig was the chief of staff for Nixon.
Okay.
And Nixon men were Haldeman, Ehrlichman, Kissinger, Schultz. I mean, these people came in here, man. I mean, it's a lot going on in this country.
Oh yeah. Around the world every day.
It's a lot going on, man. So it addresses on a lot of different things and so on. So, but the Storyteller is a very fun piece. I really like the Storyteller because the Storyteller addresses romance, it addresses it's got some comedy, stories. It has a little bit of everything there. Really does.
Yeah. That's good. And that's that's a gift, man, to have that multi there. Oh, let me say this real quick. If anyone has Hulu, check out the program called Black Cake. It's a series. I think it's only seven. Hey, there she goes. 7 parts to it, and so it's on Hulu. And again, it's called the Black Cake, and you got to stick with it because it unfolds very nicely. And so I just want to say that. I know her time is precious, so let me introduce Nicole Wilkerson. How you doing, Nicole?
Hello. It's Nicole. Nicole is making it happen.
Yes,
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me this evening.
I appreciate you coming on. Absolutely. Hey, listen, I was talking to the audience about this is Neil. You see Neil Simpson, Neil Owens on there. Okay.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
All right. And you've met Neil before?
I've seen him before. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him here before.
Yeah. Neil is out of North Carolina, so we're glad to always have him on. He's a novelist and everything. And Nicole is here in Harrisburg, and she's an events coordinator and among other things. Good stuff. So anyhow, Nicole, 2 things. Well, 3 actually. Let's talk about first off the youth poetry showcase, how that went off and everything. You want to tell folks?
Yes, that was amazing. We had some very talented young individuals actually participate in the poetry/spoken word showcase. And they were from all over Dauphin County. So we had Harrisburg School District with SciTech participate. Central Dauphin, Dauphin County Tech. We even had students from the Nativity School participate. We also had some students from CASA. So I was very impressed to get such a wide range of students to participate from grades 7 through 12.
And also we have students from the art program, even though they go to various schools, they really were, that's how we encountered them, was at the art program, right?
Yes, we had a number of students participate from the art program. And, I'm excited that they actually stepped out on faith and, put their work on stage and let us hear, what was on their minds, because that was the actual purpose of the showcase. We want to hear what our young people have to say. We wanted to hear what they thought was the good in our community, because as adults, we may see one thing, but then as youth, they may see something else. Right. So it was nice to get their point of view, from the different things that's going on in society, in their environment, as well as in the schools.
And I do want to thank you for going down this past Wednesday to SciTech, and you were part of their monthly community, what you give a day to call the whole thing, but you spoke to a group of young people. How did that go?
That was amazing. Also, first of all, I was honored to be able to speak with them. But secondly, they were so welcoming and attentive. I wasn't too sure how well I would be received, but they loved what we did. They had a good time, and that hour and a half went by so fast. I couldn't believe it was time to go, and they couldn't believe it was time to go. We were so caught up in the activities and the games that we were doing, we didn't even realize that it was 10:30 and it was time to go. Right. But I really like that concept that SciTech's doing with spotlighting the different careers and giving the students an opportunity to interact with different people in the community and, be able to ask questions about careers and about different fields that they can get into, and they actually, get to experience that a one-on-one and up close and personal relationship, and get the knowledge from someone who's actually in the field doing it every day.
Fantastic. Well, listen, also Kwanzaa 2023 is upon us, and we're looking for vendors. Tell us all about the experience coming up, and how can someone become a vendor?
Okay, so guys, it's been all over the internet, and I know you guys have seen it. You may not have read the whole flyer, but that's okay. It is December 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And this year, we're going to be at a new location. We will be at the Camp Curtain Gymnasium, and that's the Camp Curtain School up on 6th Street. We'll be in the gymnasium, and we're going to have just a fun-filled day. We still have room for vendors because, remember, we're going to be in the gymnasium. So our goal is to fill that gymnasium up. So if you have a home-based business, if you have a brick and mortar, if you have a small business that just got started and you're looking for customers, this is the great, I'm not even going to say great, this is the perfect opportunity for you to get involved in your community. This is the perfect way to set up your financial goals, sales, and leads for 2024. So people will be there looking for things for the holidays, but they're also going to be looking for birthday gifts, Valentine's Day gifts, Mother's Day gifts, graduation gifts. They're there to see what their community has to offer them. So that's why we want as many businesses to participate as possible. And you might not get a sale that day, but guess what? You're going to collect some names, you're going to collect some numbers, and you're going to be able to sell to them throughout the year. And every time they come through that door, they're going to scan a QR code. So all of your information as a business will be in their phone permanently. So like I said, this is a great way to get involved in your community, to boost your sales, to boost your customers, your lead generation, whatever type of business that you're in. So if you're looking to do that, please don't hesitate. Get in contact with me. You can reach me on my cell phone at 717-307-8272, or you can email me at info@NicoleIsMakingItHappen.com, Or if you're simply watching us on Facebook or any of the social media platforms, you can simply send me a message on any of them, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok under Nicole Wilkerson or Nicole is Making It Happen. And I'll be sure to get you an electronic application. That way you don't have to wait for anything in the mail. You can just simply fill it out right then and there. And you can also send your payment electronically, which will guarantee your space. We're looking for food vendors. We still have opening for clothing vendors. I don't believe we have any vendors as of yet for like skincare products. Besides, we do have Mary Kay, but I know there's a lot of businesses out here who make their own skincare products. So we're looking for vendors of that nature. We're looking for purse vendors, hair care vendors, just about everyone, because we have a large space to fill.
And by the way, authors, if you have a book and you haven't been able to push your book, bring your book out. Let people know that you're here and, set your table up. And I know we obviously have some authors already that are interested, people like Maria Chow and Wendy Noche, Ro Brady. There's some folks that'll probably be there, but there's room for you too. So, get on it.
I don't know if they are aware. I just found this out. I was doing some research on the internet yesterday, and Christmas is the biggest book buying season of the year.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. The last 9 years, they said that Christmas from October through January, the Christmas shopping season is the biggest book buying season. So if you're an author or you do journals, anything like that, you need to get a table because this is the time to get your name out there, get that book out there, that journal, and let's make it happen. Let's get you some sales.
Absolutely, absolutely. And by the way, I don't think hardly any of our vendors have ever walked away saying we haven't made any sales at all. Most of them do quite well.
Yes. I always go around and I talk to the vendors and check with them. And last year, the vendors were very, very pleased with the turnout. And, they were already saying, are we doing this again next year? When is it next year? And I couldn't give them the information yet because we were still in 2023. So I know that we have a lot of vendors that will be returning from the past couple of years, but that doesn't mean that we don't have room for new ones.
So one of the things we're going to establish is that we're going to hopefully establish the second Saturday of December as officially the Kwanzaa celebration in Harrisburg. And it's just a matter of the to be announced where, but we will have the second Saturday set aside. And God willing, we'll be able to do it every, year after year after year, as second Saturday of the month. And so the people can put that on their calendars right away. And then it's just a matter of finding out exactly where we'll be. And we love the relationship with the Harrisburg School District, and hopefully we can maintain that. So we'll see what happens.
Yes. And I don't know if we mentioned it or not, but the event is free.
Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely.
Come on out. There's no entry fee. The only thing you'll have to pay for is your food. But all the activities are free. I mean, we're going to have African drumming, African dancing. We're going to have a fashion show. We're going to have Mafelda coming in from Philadelphia. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but that's an amazing show with her walking on stilts and doing African dance and telling stories. Man, she really gets the crowd going. So just to be able to see her for, a 10, 15-minute performance for free is amazing in itself. We're going to have a kids corner where the kids get to just play and enjoy themselves all day long. We're going to have arts and crafts. We're going to have a bouncy house for them, a coloring corner, all kind of games for them and prizes for them. We're going to have free books for the kids. So there's going to be a lot to do for everyone in the family, from the young ones up to the old. So let's make this a family affair. Come on out from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we'll also have the Toys for Tots giveaway that day.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, which tomorrow we'll start our sign-ups. So be on the lookout for that. And then once you sign up, you just simply come to Kwanzaa to pick up your toys, and you'll be able to do that from 12 to 4. And so you get some free toys, you get some free entertainment, and just
Mhm.
have a good day out with the family.
Fantastic. We gotta get Brother Neil Owens to leave the great state of North Carolina, coming up to Harrisburg one day, bring his
Yes,
books up
why
so
not?
people can see him in person. We love to have authors, you know. Hey, by the way, I did mention, Nicole, that another event that we got to sit down and begin to really talk about. I've been working with Brother Irving Smalls. His daughter is Dr. Jamonja. I'm saying it wrong, probably Smalls, but she is also an outstanding artist as well as an outstanding poet. And she will be headlining a program on Sunday, December the 17th at the State Museum. And we'll be honoring 7 women in particular that day as well, 7 local artists. And she will be the headline. She's going to give a lecture as well as talk about her paintings and all that. And then we'll also be honoring these women who have done tremendous work in our community. And 7 to be honored, 1 surprise, you know, I'll say it that way. And so we'll talk, and I'll get with Nicole and we'll make it happen, because Nicole is making it happen, and she will
So
make
that
that
means they
happen.
have 2 weekends to put on their calendar to
That's
spend with
right.
us. Weekends in
That's
a row.
right. Yeah, that'll be at the State Museum, and the other one, of course, is at the Harrisburg, the Camp Curtain Academy, a
Yeah,
school at 60 Business Street in the gymnasium. So really,
yeah.
the right workshop will be busy during the Christmas season. You know, that's what we're gonna be doing. Hey, by the way, before you came on, and Neil as well, Brother Chris brought up some pictures of past Kwanzaas, and he had that wonderful song. Chris, can you do that again for us real quick, if that's not too difficult to pull up, just to show some of the images from Kwanzaa past, and that a Kwanzaa song that you did? I thought that was outstanding. Um, if you can pull that up for us, and then we'll check that out. But anyhow, again, Nicole, excellent job. Thank you so much. And you did say that in order to sign up to be a vendor, that's gonna you had the link out already, right?
Yes, the link is on our Facebook page, on my Facebook page, on your Facebook page. Let me see if I can actually, once I go off here, because I can't go out, because I'm on my cell phone. I'll actually put it in the chat here too.
Okay.
So they can just click on it in the chat. But if they can't find it or they need assistance, they can always give me a call or inbox me. And again, my number is 717-307-8272. I can put that in the chat right now.
Okay. Excellent, fantastic. And okay, is that from you? Okay. Oh, from Writers Workshop too. Okay, good. Okay, that's
Oh,
the
there.
phone number.
Oh, thank
Yep.
you so much. So there you guys have
Brother
the link.
Chris. Yeah.
And you have my telephone number. So that's all the information that you need to become a vendor. The fee is very minimal. And, you know, we've never had anyone complain about the fee. Actually, I had a couple of people say to me today, that's all you're charging? You guys have been charging that for years. And I just kind of chuckled and I said, yeah, you know, we want to make sure that it's affordable for
Absolutely.
everyone to participate, because we want as many people to participate as possible.
I was listening to at Sirius XM today, and there was a sister on. She has something called the Virtual Mall, and it's a Black endeavor. And she was breaking this thing down, how you can be a part of the virtual mall, and it's like having the books, you know, a bookstore, this or that, whole bit. And it was very inexpensive. I couldn't believe what she was saying. She said, but no, she said, this is about, you know, community coming together, about doing, she said, we're doing just fine. You know, we don't need to charge anymore because we have so many people buying into it. She's doing just fine. And I thought, boy, that's the concept right there. It's about making it accessible, and, you know, the whole bit. And Kwanzaa, I think the way we do it is kind of on that level as well. You know, we're just trying to pay for the entertainment, you know, for all the other little things that are associated with it, but we're not trying to get rich off anybody. We're just trying to make sure that the community is brought together and we have a great day. And then hopefully, as you said, those vendors, they can have life beyond the Kwanzaa festival, because there'll be customers that will be, you know, contacting them throughout the year. You know, good stuff.
I still have customers who will contact me who have contacted me from last year, because maybe, you know, they forgot to scan the QR code, or they forgot such and such his name, and they'll call me and say, do you remember the vendor who did this at Kwanzaa, or who had that? And of course, you know, I remember. So, you know, I pass on that information. So you just never know when that sale is going to happen.
One of the things we might want to try to do through the workshop, and just thinking off the top of my head, just based on what I heard the sister say, is people like Brother Neil here, who's an outstanding author, has books out. We have other people associated, Ro Brady, Wendy has a wonderful book of poetry a little bit. We need to have a virtual kind of mall ourselves or something where we can have people from all over, and the books can be sold, not just on Amazon, but, through us, through the Kwanzaa Festival, through, stuff like that. Kwame Alexander is an outstanding poet, and a lot of people know of his works, but his father happens to be, what's it? Oh, I'm gonna mess it up. H.B. Alexander? I think it's something like that. But anyhow, his father's an outstanding author, but historian, but also he takes other authors and he promotes them all over the world. And I met him back in the 80s, and he told me about Kwame when Kwame was just a little boy. And so, he's still going strong. Boy, I hate that I'm blowing his name. But anyhow, we got to get back to that concept. There used to be a number of brothers and sisters who had these massive, book displays, and they would go all over the country to these various, events like a Kwanzaa, and then they would sell the books. And so authors like, Brother Neil and others could benefit because their books would be prominently displayed at these events, even though they couldn't be there, the books could be there. So that's something we need to think about. How can we get authors to, send their books to us so we can help sell their books, whatever, and, help them to, become more known in our community. That's something else. We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. If it can happen, Nicole can make it happen. I know she can.
I'll certainly try. I'll try to make it happen.
I know you will. I know you will. Yes, indeed. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on. I don't know if you run out of time, whatever. Brother Chris, did you have any more photos or anything from the Kwanzaa? There we go. Let's see what we have for Kwanzaa here real quick. Here we go. That was from last year.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was last year's piece. Really nice. That's an outstanding piece.
Love
Real
it.
Isn't that nice? Yeah. And I got to give you hats off to you because you pretty much organized all those vendors. That was from last year's, Kwanzaa celebration at John Harris campus, high school campus. And that was an outstanding job. I'm telling you, very nicely done. So looking forward to 2023, December
Yes.
the 9th. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very nice.
Well, I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to go, but I hope to see everyone December 9th. Again, don't hesitate to give me a call at 717-307-8272 or message me on any of the social media platforms so that we can get you a vendor table and get those sales going.
All right now. Thank you so much, Nicole. Appreciate you.
Have a good evening.
All right now. Thanks
Bye.
again. That's Nicole Wilkerson. Her organization is Nicole is Making It Happen. And she is an events coordinator and so easy to work with. I really enjoy working with Nicole. She does a great job. And Brother Chris, can I ask you a quick question? Did you put that montage together along with the music and everything from that?
No, sir. That was actually on Facebook. I found that on, let me see. I found that
That
on
was Brian
Ted's page.
Dupree.
I don't think it was Brian Dupree. Let me
Oh,
check.
really?
It may have been. It may have been. I may stand corrected. Let me see here.
I know he did something, and I wasn't sure if that was his work or yours. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That says
But,
Harrisburg School District, sir.
oh, really?
Yeah, it was produced by the Harrisburg School District.
Nice. Go ahead. I appreciate that. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know that they were there to do something like that. That's wonderful. Thank you. Harrisburg School District. Yes, indeed. And they were very accommodating. So yeah, that's very good. Kirsten Nicole Keys. Kirsten Nicole Keys. She would have to be the person responsible then for having made that happen. And then I forget the gentleman's name. Really, really nice guy. He does a lot of the video work and all that other kind of stuff. So hats off to the Harrisburg School District then. Good piece. Good piece. And thanks for finding that. Yes, indeed. So, well, listen, you had some other videos too, didn't you, Brother Chris, that you normally bring up? Did you have anything tonight for us? It doesn't have to be right this second.
Sure. No problem. Here you go.
You got one? Okay. All right. Oh, that's the Kwanzaa. Nice. Very cool. All right. Yeah, again, that was a couple years back. That was the Harrisburg Mall. We had that. So, by the way, the Sankofa Institute, that was Brother Paul Carey. He's since passed. His wife and his daughter now moved out to Indianapolis, Indiana. But they were a tremendous part of our community and all that they did to bring African culture, to the fore. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. I was looking for a little, I don't know if you had any poetry, youth poetry kind of thing, but that, we'll get to that. But anyhow, Brother Neil, so, again, man, let's talk about the state of writing for a minute. And I know you've spoken out on this a few times, how some of if Ro was here, she'd always say the indie writers, independent writers, right? By the way, did you know that Ro and her husband moved back to Harrisburg?
Oh, they moved back to Harrisburg.
They
No,
sure
I didn't know
did.
that.
They moved back to Harrisburg. Yeah, they're in the process of bringing, they started, I think, 2 or 3 days ago, and I talked to her yesterday. She's editing the Black Wall Street newspaper here in Harrisburg again. And then also, she's establishing her business back here and everything. So, hey, they went down to DC, was there for a while and decided, you know what, it worked better up here for them. And so I'm glad to see her back. So welcome back, Ro Braddock, absolutely. And Theo's her husband, yes, indeed. So anyhow, but yeah, man, just a state of writing today, man. Are there any persons that you follow, that you read, different authors or anything like that, or how do you handle that?
But there are no particular authors that I read. I read different pieces, but there is no particular author that I'm actually a fan of, other than going back to Sam Greeley with The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Yeah, man.
And
That was a great book.
That's pretty much my favorite right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that too. The whole, just the whole thought of the reason why he did what he did, man. That was powerful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and all he endured just to bring the revolution back to the people, man. I said, go ahead, man. I love that story.
Very powerful story, man. Very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say it again though. I really want you to check out, everybody, if you get a chance, check out Black Cake, because my wife and I had just gotten into it, and we were like, you know, but then her sister said, you know, check out this thing called Black Cake. And I thought it was just a love story. Man, they unpack some stuff in that bad boy. And it's nicely, I like well-written stuff that you don't know what's coming next. You know, you didn't see that coming, so to speak. And it's like, wow, okay. So I you know, I will say that Oprah Winfrey's behind this piece with her Harpo Productions. And I don't know who the writer is. I saw it, but I can't remember the name. But somebody put that piece together, man. Very nicely done. And I hope that you know, we'll have more quality African American you know, stories like that being told, because it's so authentic, and it just makes you say, okay, yeah, you know, there's a lot of twists and turns there, man. And that's not the only thing out there, by the way. I'd really like the series also with what's the gospel singer's name? The tall sister, Yolanda Adams. She's in a piece. It's more about, you know, it's more dramatic, and it's, you know, it's fiction, but well done. And she's supposed to be a major gospel singer and a pastor. Her husband's a pastor, but there's all this mix up stuff. But I like the fact that you know, it's quality work. You know, it's really quality stuff, man. And so, you know, hats off to all these folks who are telling stories and telling good stories and putting some money behind it. You know, putting some real cake behind it. So that's good stuff. Anyhow, and that's on I think that's on BET Plus or something like that. I forget exactly. And what's the name of it? I forget. But anyhow, well done. So, what you got, man? What you think? State of writing, you know, anything that you want to rap about?
Well, you know, the state of writing, I think is good. I mean, there's a lot of people writing. There's a lot of people putting works out. There's a lot of Black authors out there.
Your voice kind of went out. You're real staticky right now. I don't know if something happened, but you were real clear. Yeah.
What's going on with this? I don't know what.
Yeah, it's just a little static right now, but okay. We can hear you now. Yeah. It's like you touched something. I heard just boom, and then all of a sudden, you know, but that's okay. It comes back in. Yep. Oh boy, excuse me. Been yawning like crazy here. I want to thank my granddaughter. She told me she had to be at a school project at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I said, oh man. I said, well, but I can make that happen for you. So I go over there, and you know, I'm sitting out there 6:45. I'm like, where's my granddaughter at? So I found a car, and she's like, well, Grandpa, it's only 6 o'clock. I said, no, it's 6:45. You said it's supposed to be the 7 o'clock. She hadn't got out of bed yet. I said, sister, you on your own bar. But anyhow, she had to take my other daughter. I would take my other daughter to work all the time. But losing that little hour, boy, I tell you, it affects me. I don't go to bed the way I should in the first place, but then to lose that extra time, come on now. It's all good though. Life is a challenge. Did I lose you, Neil? Are you coming back in, or? Okay, Neil might have stepped away. Hey, again, you tune into the Writers Wordshop. My name's Nathaniel Gadsden. We founded this organization back in 1977. And, you know, we've been going strong ever since. By the way, if you haven't seen the latest issue of Black Wall Street, I do have a copy here somewhere. I'm not going to get up, but it's out. Ro Brady is now the editor. The paper itself is produced by the Bishop Dallas and Jenny Dallas, husband and wife team, outstanding ministers. And they put out a paper, both the Black Wall Street, and there's a paper I don't know the name of, but it's dedicated to the Hispanic Latino community. They do that paper as well. And the Black Wall Street's a small, thin, paper, but it's chock full of a lot of good information. And I mentioned it also because I was pleased to be able to submit an article for the first time in a while. And the article was on Claude Lewis, a good buddy of mine and of this city. He's originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Went to Morgan State, and he's a U.S. Marine. He's a lawyer. Went to University of Pittsburgh Law School and got his law degree. Was married to a lawyer, his late wife, Robin. They were both attorneys, just outstanding people. But he was an outstanding writer and was the poet laureate for the city of Harrisburg from 2002 to 2006. And so, Brother Claude is, just an outstanding guy. But also, I was able to feature one of his poems that I think is one of my favorite of his, in the Valley of Self-Esteem. And so, anyhow, that's featured in the latest issue of the Black Wall Street, newspaper there. Check it out if you get a chance to get your hands on one. I've seen them at the various restaurants. They have them like in the lobby areas of a few of the restaurants there as you first go in, and they're everywhere, wherever you can find them, they're there, and they do a nice job of putting them out. So, support the paper, support Ro Brady as a new editor, and all the articles that are written by local people who just simply love to write. So, that's what that's all about. And Brother Chris is bringing us, oh, there you go. That's the latest issue, by the way. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. That is it. Yeah. Very nice. And the artwork, I don't even know who does, but the artwork is really nice. Yeah. Okay. There's Ro. That's Ro right there. Okay. She is the new editor. And, so go here, Ro. She's back here in Harrisburg. Thank God for that. Oh, it said about the cover art. And then there's Marcus Lipton. Okay. All right, brother. Appreciate you. And see some upcoming events there. Yes, indeed. All right. Big City Entertainment, Small Town Charm. Okay, there's some articles. Ro wrote 2 articles, Living in the City with Working Empty Pockets, and then The Homeless During the Holidays. 2 important pieces that must be lifted up. And then, of course, there's Brother Claude Lewis, my man. Claude Lewis, attorney. And I happen to write this piece. And then his poem is called In the Valley of Self-Esteem. That's what it is, In the Valley of Self-Esteem. A really powerful piece when you sit down and really read through it and say, oh, man, he put everything into that. Then the book reviews by Queenie Clem. We're so glad to know that Queenie's still doing what she does. And Queenie used to come on this particular show all the time, but she's still connected, thanks to Ro. They stay in touch with each other. Thank you, Brother Chris. Appreciate that. Nice catch. Yes, indeed. So, there's some stuff out there, folks. There are things that we need to know about. And if you didn't know about the Black Wall Street newspaper, again, I'm not sure where all this is distributed, but I know I saw some copies over at the Front Street Diner down on Front Street here in Harrisburg, over at Peachtree Restaurant on the outside when you first walk into the little lobby area, the door, and there's like a little machine there, and we had some copies up on top of the machine. And one of our guys discovered it today. Hey, here's some newspapers. So, they put them out, and it's well worth grabbing a copy, just to support. It's a free paper too, by the way. It's free. But it gives our writers a place to write and a chance to write, some articles that hopefully will have meaning for you and for the people that the article's written, about. Again, hopefully my brother, Neil, are you back? Yeah, Neil's probably trying to get it together with that voice thing went out on him, and he was real scratchy there. But before that, it was really crystal clear. So that's what it's all about. Hey, the strike is over. The strike of actors. Okay, there you go. Strike of actors. They're back in the studios now. Back, rehearsing, putting together projects. It's going to take a minute, but they're ready to roll, and that's a good thing. Our actors and the writers and all the people associated with, the story industry, I'll call it that, the movie industry, TV industry, the whole 9 yards. They were sorely missed. And that thing went on for about 10 months, I think I heard. So I was glad to see that that's done. And hopefully they're back and they're doing their thing. Anyhow, Neil, you were saying something. And you came back in. I appreciate you, man. Where did we leave off on that conversation? Neil, can you hear me? Okay, I don't think Neil can hear me right now. He doesn't look like he's muted, but I guess he is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Neil has a book called The Fourth Right, and also The Storyteller, and some other books too. That are, I forget the name of his first one. His first one was like a runaway bestseller for him. He did a nice job with that and got some awards and all that. Yeah. I see him looking like he's trying to type something in. Okay, my man, he's working. He's right there. You all see him. What does it say? Cannot hear you. Oh, from Neil Owens to everyone. Okay. Yeah, this okay, I'm not sure. Neil, yeah, we can't hear you either, brother. Say something once. It doesn't sound like you have any sound. Yeah. No, he can't hear us. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Okay, well, you keep working at it. Electronics is such that eventually it'll come through. It'll come through. Yeah. Hey, don't sleep on again, Black Nativity. Please support Sankofa 20, the Sankofa African American Theater Company. I started to say Sankofa 21, that's a different agency. But Sankofa African American Theater Company, please support them, and especially with the upcoming production of Black Nativity, December the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I believe. It will be shown. And I don't have the exact location, but I think it's over in Camp Hill there, or Lemoyne. And I understand it's a beautiful church, and it's going to be a good production. It was last year. I'm sure it will be again this year. No, Bill, he's still trying. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, all right. Well, do what we do. I do have a couple projects that I'm working on. I'm not going to, reveal any of that tonight. Books that I, am trying to put together. One is being revised. Another one is, just going to be released. A project we created long ago. We're going to update it, and it's an anthology, and we're really proud of that anthology. And I said we got to do more with this bad boy. So Neil, do you hear it? I see you went out, came in again. Nope, still nothing. All right, good. We tried. We definitely tried. Yeah. So there are a lot of one of the things that happened with the youth poetry, spoken word contest. The young men from the one program called ARC, they were a little disappointed they didn't win, of course, and all that kind of stuff. Everybody wants to get that money, But I told them they did win. They won because they participated, and also they put together a nice piece. All three of them did, and so having said that, I challenged them to write within that group, just the group, not going to the forum or any place like that. And each one of them gave a small token of our appreciation in terms of, some finances here, nothing big. But the challenge was to just put together a good piece and write. And so they said they would do it. So come November 29th, we should have results of, not a contest in terms of who's better and all that kind of stuff, but just who actually took time to sit down and actually craft a piece and something that is worthy of being lifted up. And so that's what the challenge is to these young men. And all of them are high school students, like 9th grade all the way up through 12th grade. Let's do it. Let's get it done, and then let's, again, put it in perspective. So we're doing to do that for that particular body, called ARC. And I'm thinking that we'd like to do that with other, groups that are out there too. Instead of making it a big county-wide, citywide kind of thing, just something that, people themselves can challenge themselves, to get it done. And, as Nicole said, when she was on, we had Central Dolphin, Harrisburg by way of Side Tech, and, the Dauphin County Technical School. And I know I'm missing somebody. Here's a number of people. CASA. CASA was there with about 4 or 5 students, and 2 of them won 2nd and 3rd place, and they wrote, outstanding pieces. The other thing is, one of the things that young people, don't always get, maybe even adults for that matter. You write a piece, and it's a good piece, If it's a contest, though, someone else might write a piece, and it may be the preferred writing only because of the way it was structured or the way it, touched on the overall theme and stuff like that. Some of our students missed the fact that they may have mentioned the words, but they didn't really capture the theme of, the good that I see in my community. Some folks did better than others. That's okay, but you're all in the same boat. And that's what we try to tell everybody. You're all in the same boat. You don't have to be, quote unquote, the ultimate winner of the so-called cash prize, but you can be the ultimate winner in terms of having done something, having, completed something that you alone can be proud of, and others might be proud of you because you wrote it, whatever, but you be proud of yourself because you actually participated and you wrote it. And hopefully that's a reward also. Okay. That's a great reward as well. Yeah. So having said all that, again, I know there's a lot going on, especially as we get closer and closer to the holidays. And it is now, 8:15. Brother Chris, did you have any poetry, spoken word pieces of, it doesn't have to be youth, it can be anybody, that you can lift up as a video form tonight? Here we go. All right. Thank you.
Today we celebrate Nia, or purpose, the 5th day of Kwanzaa. Nia means making our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Nia reminds us that Black lineage has provided a solid foundation for future generations. Likewise, sunflowers are known for their sturdy resilience and longevity. We invite you to listen to the story of resilience and power with storyteller Carl Shelton. Think about the power of the sunflower as you reflect on your family, your ancestors, determined, strong, defiant with music in their ears. Nia reminds us that our Black is beautiful.
There were hundreds of sunflowers everywhere, as far as the eyes could see. They seemed to reach as far as the horizon. The sunflowers welcomed the families that settled the land with what could be described as music or a song. It calmed the animals, soothed the children, and encouraged the adults as they cleared small areas of the land. The settlers dismissed the notion that the sunflowers were making music or singing. It was just the wind blowing through them. The Adler family was one of the first to move to the land. The family thought how beautiful the sunflowers were. They built a small 2-room cabin and cleared an acre of land to farm. Gradually, the Adler family rebuilt the cabin many times over. After 4 generations, the Adler small cabin became a grand mansion with magnificent columns, beautiful flower gardens, hundreds of acres of farmland, and at one time, hundreds of enslaved people worked in their fields, and still the sounds of the sunflowers could be heard, although their numbers were diminished. Now the sunflowers had become a nuisance to the Adler family as their need for more land increased. Try as they might, over the many years, the Adlers could not permanently get rid of all the sunflowers. They cut them down, they dug them up, they burned the ground where they grew, and they even poisoned the soil. But no matter what they did, the sunflowers kept reappearing. Everyone knew why the sunflowers kept reappearing. They were part of the land. They had a spiritual bond that could not be broken. By the turn of the 20th century, George Adler, the current owner, refused to believe that the sunflowers had some kind of magic or a purpose or could make music. The sunflowers were not human. They were mere plants, and they had no special powers. They were not the protectors of the land, the forest, or even the once enslaved people who worked the land. Bitterly, George Adler dismissed the sunflower myths as nonsense. They're just flowers, nothing more, just flowers. His anger showed when folks said something about the sunflowers that grew on his land. Now, it was different with the black folks that lived on the land and worked in the area. Generation after generation of black folks knew what the sunflowers stood for. Stories spread throughout the black community about the power of the sunflower. It was said in the days of enslavement that every enslaved person could clearly hear their song and their music. There were some who spoke in whispers to the sunflowers and gained wisdom and knowledge for them. They knew why the sunflowers were there and would always be there. In the days, the sunflowers hid runaways. The sunflowers would literally cover the runaways with their leaves and even move closer together to conceal them. Their leaves gave off a pungent odor so the dogs could not smell them. The black folks learned to cook their leaves. They dried out their seeds to eat and squeezed oil for medicinal purposes. When the stalks were dried out, they used them for firewood. But most importantly, the sunflowers ooze with sheer determination to maintain and strengthen families and communities. No matter how many times the sunflowers were destroyed, they returned, standing tall in defiance. Their music and their song continued. So it was with the many generations of black folks. No matter how horrific their lives were, they held on to their purpose, stood tall and straight. Just like the sunflowers, they never gave up their music, and they turned their faces to the sun for a better life, for family and community. Soul of the sunflowers.
That's beautiful storytelling. That's wonderful. I like that. See, that's the kind of thing storytelling I want to get here in the Berg. We have what's called the Griot Collective, and just joined the Baltimore Griot group out of Baltimore, and they also have, of course, the Keepers of the Culture out of Philadelphia, and then around the country there are different groups, and they just had that big celebration out in, I think they said Salt Lake City, Utah. I said, okay, so yeah, they had the big conference that they held every year, and I believe it was in Utah this year, which was interesting. But anyhow, so yeah, that was a great piece. Thank you, Chris. The sunflowers, just telling that story, and I love the flute behind, set the mood of it all. Good stuff. Hey, you tuned into The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. I'm Nathaniel Gadsden, and this is, of course, the Writers Wordshop, and we're down to 8:23. We're usually on from 7 until 9. And we always enjoy, bringing you information and different people who are writers and talk about the process of writing, and then just share some writings. In fact, I know that CAMA, the Capital Area Music Association, is having a big program this evening. So I already know where Nan Swanson is. I can only imagine that she's over there. My wife and my daughter Terry went, and so many people go to support that. Let me also mention something, and that is the passing of Trudy Gaskins. Those of you who are from the Harrisburg area may know of Miss Trudy. She's a beautiful woman. She was married to William Gaskins, Dr. William Gaskins. He passed away some years ago. Trudy herself was born in Canada, and she's a tremendous worker here in this community, doing all kinds of different endeavors. Always a very stately lady. And I remember back years ago when she announced to some of us who knew her that she was diagnosed with cancer, and she lived a good strong life even beyond the cancer for a number of years, and never seemed to lose her charm or her stature, so to speak, her beautiful looks. And I hadn't seen her in a little bit, but then just saw the obituary today, nonetheless, where it talked about her passing, I think on October the 28th, I believe my wife said. So she's going to be laid to rest tomorrow, probably at her church, which I believe was St. Paul's Episcopal over there on uptown Harrisburg on Seneca Street. And she'll be sorely missed. She was a big time patron of the Capital Area Music Association. And so my wife said to me today, she said, I wonder if they're going to say anything, about her at the celebration tonight. In fact, I think my wife just came back in. Yeah. And so I'll find out about that and everything. Okay, yeah. Yep. Yeah, just talking to my wife about it. She said, yep, she's back. She said the concert was very good. So that's great. Yeah, good stuff. So anyhow, I'll shut the door here. I know she's back in, and the daughter. So they'll be talking and have the TV on. Anyhow, I'm going to grab some of my writings as well. In fact, what I'm going to do instead of doing that, I'm going to ask Brother Chris if he doesn't mind. We're going to do we'll share some videos tonight. I love that piece we just saw. But also, Brother Chris, one of the things we have to do in 2024 is get back to the project of trying to create. I've written a few more pieces that I would like to have showcased in a spoken word piece with the video that you create for me. And you did some outstanding ones. I think we had about, 5 or 6? Chris, I'm not sure. Do you remember how many there were?
Yes, sir. I think there was between 6, I think around 6, a half a dozen or so.
Yeah, I thought so too, about 6 of them, yeah. And I don't know if you can readily pull up one of them to just kind of show for those people who never saw one, maybe show a piece, something that you created, but you took my poetry and then put, visuals around it and made it into something very special. I really enjoyed it myself. I thought they were great. And we didn't do too many here in 2023, but we want to get back to that because, I thought the concept was excellent. And have some other ideas about how we can, strengthen it even. So I don't know if you can pull up something, Brother Chris, if you would, I'd appreciate it. And we'll look at that. Then also, I know you have other videos as well. We could look at some more of the videos of spoken word pieces, and especially by, anybody, any poet, and any theme too. This, we're gonna have to have a particular theme. Just some of the poetry. One of the things I like to do here on this show is to share some of the works. By the way, if you're not tuned into The Voice, if you've never seen or heard of The Voice is on pretty much 24/7. I believe it is 24/7. Is that right, Chris?
One more time, my apologies, Dr. Gadsden. I was trying to find the video. What'd you say, sir?
No, I know. I was just talking to you like you ain't doing nothing. I mean, my part.
Oh, no worries.
My fault. Yeah, but no, I was just saying the station itself is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Obviously, we're not there 24/7, but we do have radio automation software that keeps our content on the air 24/7. But also voicetv.org. Again, we're still going strong with Voice TV. We actually just added another client channel recently, and we're excited about that. I don't know if you know local pastor Vince Robinson.
Yes.
But he has a program on the station as well, Walking with Jesus.
Nice.
Outreach ministry. So we just created a customer channel for him as well, the Walking for Jesus or Walking with Jesus channel that's on 24/7. It has his programs from the radio station, also services from his church, and he does a lot of street ministry as well down in Tent City and some street preaching. So it has a combination of all those videos as well. So the station is on 24/7, but a lot of our live content is normally on probably in the afternoons into the early evenings, sir.
Really good. I don't know, and I know you're pulling things up, so I'm not going to ask you to pull up anything else here. I know you're trying.
Oh no, I have your video now. Prayer
oh, do you really? Okay.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right. Real good, because I was going to say, I don't know if you want to show a little bit of the Voice TV and show the Wordshop or even the Life Esteem piece, whatever. But right now, let's just look at the video that you pulled up and so that people can know what we're talking about. A prayer for our city. Well, not city. Okay.
One of the officers fired one shot, which struck Mr. Pinckney and ultimately killed him.
It is a tragedy as to what took place last night. And not only does the family of the victim cry, but the whole city is crying for the young man.
So we're all hurting. We hate to see tragedy, especially when someone's life is taken. But what we have to do is we have to get the facts. We have to stand together. We have to demand justice, but we have to stand together. We are one beautiful, solid community, and we have to act like it. We need leadership, and everybody, you, me, all of us, are leaders. If we're going to be leaders, then we have to take action, and by taking action, we have to show what real love looks like. Let's show what real love looks like. Let's get behind the family. Let's ask for justice. Let's support our police. Let's do all that we can do to make this thing right. We can do it. I know we can.
A prayer for times like these. Dear God, we are here like a village, and I, an African-American male of the Christian faith, offer a blessing for this city. I offer this blessing in the name of the Jewish, the Muslim, the Christian, and all the religions gathered here. I offer this blessing for all races, cultures, genders, and generations. I offer this blessing for the agnostic and the atheists, for they too are a part of your family and our community. Dear God, we know that great things happen when we are aware of your presence. Help us to transform this city into a festival of healing, comfort, and restoration. Help us to live in this city as if you are in our midst, providing counsel and spreading love. Help us to love our youth and our elders so that they will know that you are their creator and the source of their forgiveness. And finally, God, let this day awaken our hearts to your calming power so that our souls will say as one, peace, be still. Peace, be still. Amen.
That's a nice piece. I like that a lot. It's just one of the shorter pieces, but really, really well put together. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Peace for our city. Yes. And we certainly need it in all cities, all around the world. We need it. We should maybe retitle that Peace to Our World. We need that because there's so many things jumping off, and we never hear about news from Australia, from the parts of South America, the Antarctic, this all parts of the world. I mean, there's so many parts of the world we never hear anything about. Right now, of course, everything is being dominated with, Gaza and Israel, and then also Ukraine. But the whole world, in many, many parts of the world, is aflamed with conflict and strife, war. And so at least we forget. Just because we don't necessarily hear about it doesn't mean it's not happening. So as we do that intercessory prayer, that corporate prayer, let's pray for the entire world and for those, conflicts known and those conflicts unknown. We just know that they're going on because we just know that they are. And so let's, be prayed up and stayed up in the word so that we can hopefully, effectuate a difference. And also let's be positive, instead of going deeper and deeper, darker and darker, simply to, make a point. Let's try to get brighter and brighter and more optimistic in our ability to change the world for the better. And how do we do that? We do that by knowing and growing. I was reading some Bible classes, thanks to Brother Joe Summers, this past Wednesday and actually Thursday. And one of the things that it talked about in the Bible was, it encouraged us to look for trouble. Isn't that something? If we are leaders, we have to learn how to look for trouble. And why would we look for trouble? Well, in order to be able to head off the trouble, to be able to prepare and to be ready to address the trouble. But when we put our head in the sand and we try to pretend that the trouble is not there or is not our responsibility. We're shirking. What is it? Shirking our responsibility. Our responsibility is to be ever-present help for the Lord, and to allow ourselves to be, persons who understand that with this walk comes suffering, and the suffering means that we put ourselves in harm's way to get things done. When the towers were hit, we didn't sit back and say, "Oh my God, just look at that." No, the people of God rushed in. The first person to die, they said on the scene, who was not in the tower, was a chaplain. He went in to do whatever he could do, and he lost his life doing it. And there are many, first responders of all types, of all persuasions, who went in. But least we forget, the people of God responded in many different ways, not just at that very moment, but as the days and the years rolled by, people were stepping up and doing all that they could do to restore sanity, to restore a sense of security and love, to humanity. Why? Because it was required of us, required of those helping hands and those willing hearts who understood that we are children of God, and that we have to step in and step up and do the best we can do. So when we look for trouble, we prepare. They said, a lot of people were talking about the Israel situation, and how could Hamas, the group of Palestinians known as Hamas, get into Israel and then be able to take 200 and whatever it is, 50 something hostages, and then kill more than 1,400 people. How were they able to do that with all of the security that Israel has, and the readiness and preparedness, and the war has been over there raging for decades, upon decades. So they were ready. They have an army. They have the weaponry, and have been lifted up by the United States in terms of its great support and the ability to give a small tiny space called Israel, give them the kind of support they need to maintain. So they certainly had it. So why then were they ambushed? How did that happen? Well, they're still investigating that and talking about it, and everything. So yeah, we have to be prepared. Even in our personal lives, we have to be prepared. To know that trouble can come. So instead of waiting for trouble to come and just hoping it doesn't come, prepare yourself as if trouble is going to come, like it's just a natural part of life. And then we go on with it. But here's what the thing is: if we can do that, then we can also understand that the battle is not ours, but the Lord's. And so we fight with love. We fight with a sense of understanding, and not just retribution, not just pay back, get back. Do anything you can do to destroy your enemy and lose your souls. We got to be careful about that. We don't want to do it, and I'm not picking out anybody, anything, so don't even go there for anybody. But this is for everybody, that we all have battles to fight and wars to win. But we also got to make sure that the war that we win is the war of our souls. We don't want to lose our souls in the midst of fighting the enemy. And the enemy, of course, is Satan, and it's going to always be Satan. And the enemy also is the sin from within. We have to make sure that we're clear about that sin is our enemy. It's that kryptonite that affected Superman. That's our kryptonite. God has given us the perfect answer in the perfect way through his son Jesus Christ. Now it's up to us to accept that, but also to be aware of the poison that seeks to find the cracks in our armor. That's why we have the whole armor of God on, but there may be a crack or two, and that poison will certainly find that crack if it can. We got to be careful about that. So we have to be troubleshooters. That means we have to be trouble finders, and then we have to address that trouble head on, where we address it from a preparedness state. Not to beat them. If you can't beat them, join them kind of state. No, we're prepared to win this fight, this battle. So, to the Christian writers out there, by the way, hats off to you. There's some great things being written and being done. People being lifted up, because of the great stories that are being told, the songs being sung, and they're doing it with an understanding that they're, representing Christ. And so thank God to the industry of Christian writers who are trying to make a difference through the spoken and the written word. Thank God. We need you. Keep on doing what you're doing. And again, thank God also for the persons who just create theater and entertainment in ways that allows us to, come together under that umbrella of enjoyment and understanding sometimes that we get through great storytelling, not only just enjoyment, but understanding and educating ourselves, based on someone taking time to do the research. If you haven't ever picked up the 1619 Project, that wonderful book, and also the series that is on TV, check it out. The research that was put in to that is just absolutely outstanding, and we need to know this. And also the book, my wife just said to me, we both have a copy. She said, you got to get into this book because it's unbelievable stuff that this woman has uncovered. And it's the Overground Railroad, talking about travel in these United States. I mentioned this before, especially back in the day when Jim Crow and segregation and all that was raging. It's an ugly head, even more than it is today. She tells some incredible stories of things that have happened to us as a people. And she uses the whole notion of traveling that's basically from the north to the south or from the east to the west. And I'm telling you, the stuff that Patty shared with me and parts that I've read, it's just an incredible read. You say, was our country like this? And the answer is yes, it was. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we've overcome a lot, and we still have a long way to go. In fact, there are those out there right now who are trying to, roll the clock back, change the trajectory of where our country's been, where we talk about diversity and cultural humility and all that stuff. But now there's some people out there who really are trying to, pull the clock back. And all those election deniers, it's a great indicator of where we got to be careful, because we had a fair and equal election. But because one side didn't win, they're running around there trying to destroy the country, trying to take over the White House and the government and everything else under the sun. They called for the hanging of, the beating of leaders who, for no reason other than we don't like their ideology. And one guy breaks into Speaker Pelosi's house looking for her with a hammer in his hand, saying that he was going to take her kidnapped. He gets entangled with her husband, who is in his 80s, and then in front of the police officers are there. They have the body cam showing you exactly what happens. And when Mr. Pelosi pulled away from him, he hits the man in the head with the hammer 3 times, viciously jumps at him, and thought it was justified because he didn't like their policies. Wow, that's how deep we've gotten? The answer is yes. We've gotten real deep because there's so much going on, and there's so many different philosophies and ideologies out there. We have to be careful. So one of the ways we can do it as writers, and we are writers, right, is to write about, the good that we see in our community, to write about, things that, Christ has said to us and remind us of what the Bible's trying to tell us, to dig deeper into exegesis, the various scriptures if you can, and to also dig up history that is meaningful, to our forward movement. There are people trying to ban books out of school, not trying, they are banning books out of school. There are people who are trying to eliminate any notion that our country, went through a period of segregation, Jim Crow, apartheid, whatever you want to call it, the lynchings, right? The burnings of bodies, all manner of stuff, the destroying of entire towns because they were too black, just so much that happened, not just to African American people, but the people of color, to the whites, poor whites in particular. There's so many different groups out here, because we tend to lump everybody together, but there was Italian and Irish, there were Germans and Jews and, and Gentiles. And so all these different factions, we say black, we say white, but, there's Asian, there's Haitian, there's the African and the 54 countries of Africa that are represented, and there's the Caribbean. There's so many different parts of the diaspora that we have got to be clear about the forward movement. It means everybody, coming from our own cultural context. But there are those people who don't want to see that. And so they're writing about it. They're putting their spin on it. And I would suggest that any of us who see, something different, then we should write about it, let's be about it, because we have a perspective just like anyone else does. And our perspective needs to be heard as well, And by the way, you may want to read the other person's perspective, even if you know that you disagree with it, but at least it'll give you an idea of what are they really thinking and why do they think this way. And then you can address them from a power position. But when you have no idea what they're talking about or what they're about or anything like that, there's not much you can say or do. You just ignore them and they ignore you, and then you get no place. So we got to be well informed, and we got to be willing to tell the truth and tell the story. That's what it's all about. One thing I didn't mention is we do have a men's breakfast every Friday morning from 9 until 10:30 a.m. at the Peachtree Restaurant. And the Peachtree Restaurant is located on Progress Avenue, right across from the mighty church over there. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna say Goodwin. I know it's not Goodwin, but anyhow, it's right across the street from that big, huge church.
Greater Zion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I could not think of that for some reason. Greater Zion, and and they have a dynamic pastor there. It's relatively new, but he's been doing a wonderful job. I understand. And so anyhow, Peachtree Restaurant every Friday morning from 9 a.m. until 10:30, thereabouts. We have what's called a men's breakfast. We come together, everybody buys their own breakfast, and today we dealt with a number of concepts. One was character. We looked at King Herod and his lack of character, and then also why we must be careful about the things that we may be involved in that could demonstrate the kind of downfall that Herod experienced because of his, again, lack of character. And so it was a good lesson, and the brothers that were present really got into it, and other things were lifted up as well, but that was one of the central things that we talked about today. And so it's free, it's open. They always serve a good breakfast. You order what you want, and we have a lot of fun. In fact, the one brother texted me and said, "Man, that was a good meeting today." And it was a good meeting because the spirit was high. And, we try to keep it real. No false pretense. No one's coming in trying to challenge. Let me see if you know the Bible better than I know the Bible, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. We don't play those games. We try not to play games at all. It's all about us just strengthening ourselves. As they say, iron sharpens iron. To strengthen ourselves in the Word of God and having fun and understand that we're responsible to live it, not just to hear it, but not just be hearers of the Word, but doers of the Word as well. And so, we take that very seriously. And we're not perfect. Believe me, we're not. Oh my goodness, we're not. But you know what? We're positioned, and we're positioned with Christ, and so that's what it's all about. So anyhow, again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank Nicole Wilkerson for coming on tonight and giving us the 411 on all the stuff she's working on with the Writers Workshop. We have Kwanzaa coming up on December the 9th over there at Camp Curtain Academy. We have a wonderful program that's going to take place on December the 17th at the State Museum, honoring women in the arts. And we have an outstanding speaker coming in, Dr. Yemonja Smalls. And she is an outstanding painter, visual artist, as well as a poet and an educator. She's going to bring the house down for us. And she's very African-centered, Afrocentric, if you will. And then we have some women from the community that we will be lifting up. And Brother Chris, this is a strange request, and I don't know if you can pull it off here with a few minutes. Diane Wilson Bedford, do you have any footage of her singing at all? Anything?
I would have to look. That would probably take a minute or two. I do have Strong Black Woman, the poem that you dedicated to your wife.
Well, let's do that one then. Let's do that. Absolutely. Strong Black Woman. Absolutely. How dare you be so strong? Okay.
You got it, sir. You got it.
Appreciate you. Okay.
How dare you be so strong? Woman, black woman, sister, mother of the sun, keeper of the flame, producer of spirits, spirits of the drum sound, feet marching drum spirit sounds, freedom sounds, freedom sounds. How dare you be so strong? You sat on his bus, unlawful and defiant. Woman, black woman, strong, unwilling to compromise your God force, strong.
You sat on his bus, defiant of his laws. You were dead to his ways. But you, beautiful and self-assured, were born again, strong. Black woman, how dare you be so strong? And when you sat, a nation called America began to take shape. And when you sat, black men began to shake the ground and mold their hearts into a sphere of common compassion. And when you sat, there was a call to culture and true interdependence. Black woman, how dare you be so strong? You have led us through the dust and mud of the Underground Railroad, and we have followed you, tired and worn. Weary of tears and prayers unanswered, time and time again, we followed you, and God answered us. You were there to push past the profanity, death calls, fist, spit, and human waste that tried to separate us from first-class schools. You were there at segregated lunch counters whose main course of the day was burnt democracy. You were there to plead for the release of your child and your neighbor's child with tears, protest, and resolve. No matter the dreaded hour, black woman, you were there. How dare you be so strong? You were there holding up the sky when black men had taken the best part of you, your heart. They entered into it, captured it, crushed it into pieces, glued it back together with the scar tissue from their backs, then sought to tell you that it was all your fault because you were too hard, too sassy, too cold, too wrong. Weakly, they cursed at you and screamed, "Black woman, how dare you be so strong?" And through it all, you stood tall like an African boa tree, unusually strong, magnificent, permanent, authentic. You stretched forth your hands and opened your arms and embraced him when no one else would, even when he found it hard to love himself. You whispered wisdom words and told him ancient tales of his strength that had been beaten out of his memory. You loved him to life when no one else could. You have led a nation of men back to the earth of their birth. You are the light on a dark trail. You are the chime of the freedom bell. You are the key to the poverty jail. You are strong. Yes, you are strong. How dare you be so strong? God is delighted in you. He saw man alone and then brought forth you. He summoned the angels and proclaimed, "Behold, look," he said, "look what I have done." And you rose up and walked, sashayed and swayed, and the angels knew that God's work was through for the day. We asked, how dare you be so strong? But we should have known all along that God just made you that way. Strong black woman, strong black woman. Keep being strong for us. Keep being strong for them. Keep being strong for you. Be our anthem. For you are the faith that the dark past has taught us. You are the hope that the present has brought us. You lead with love, and we love you just the way you are. Look what God has done. Strong black woman. You are a strong, beautiful black woman. And we thank you. Amen.
Good piece. Yeah, love that picture too. Oh man, appreciate that, Brother Chris. Good piece, good piece. Yeah. Strong black woman. That certainly is my wife, and that certainly is yours. How's Melissa doing, by the way?
Oh, my apologies. Actually, she's a little under the weather. I
Oh
believe
no.
she's on the upside of the mountain, though. My daughter actually got sick playing with some kids that were sick and brought it home, and my wife ended up getting sick in the interim. So she'll be down about 3 days.
Oh man.
But she's actually on the upside now. So I thank you for asking about her. So just keep
Yeah,
her in your
yeah.
prayers, sir.
Well, I saw her and the little one doing the little thing on Facebook, and that was cool. You
Yes,
know.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That was when she started back her upward climb back to being whole and healed.
All right. That's great stuff. Well, tell her we said hello, and the whole family, that little one as well. And so, yeah, so God bless. Listen, I appreciate all that you do always. I enjoyed, I want to thank Brother Neil Owens for coming on tonight. And I know he had some technical difficulties at the end, but I hope he's well. And I also, like I said, appreciate having on Nicole. And then the videos were all really tight tonight. I really appreciate that. You give us some great stuff. I'm going to let it go, cut it loose. And thank you all for tuning in. And I hope that you will continue to support the program by liking the program and then sharing it with your network, okay? And hopefully we'll see you next. Have yourself a wonderful Thanksgiving, first of all. And then I hope to see you next Friday here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. God bless.